Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Doing Business with BAE Systems Electronic Systems. My name is Marisa Herrera, and I represent Connecticut Apex Accelerator, or Connecticut Apex for short. With our new name, we aim to assist businesses reach their apex in the government marketplace. We work exclusively with government contracting, and that includes the federal, state, and local levels, as well as with contracting with federal prime contractors. We are fortunate to have with us today Marianne Tenor from BAE Systems Electronic Systems sector. This Apex Accelerator is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the Department of Defense, and matching funds are provided by Connecticut's Department of Economic and Community Development. Our host agency is Southeastern Connecticut Enterprise Region. All attendees are muted right now, but please send us your questions via the Q&A feature, and they will be addressed at the end of the presentation. This live webinar is being recorded, and attendees will receive slides along with the link to view the webinar on demand. Next slide, please. This slide lists services that are provided free of cost. We provide technical assistance, guidance, education, and training to help businesses build their government acumen and to best position you to win government contracts. Our goal for today's webinar is to learn how to become a subcontractor to BAE Systems. Next slide. We have offices located throughout the entire state, and we welcome clients to schedule in-person meetings at our offices, at your offices, as well as virtually. Next slide. Engage with us on social media, and please share Connecticut Apex with your colleagues. If you're new to us and would like to request our assistance, register online at ctptac.org. The first step to receive our services is to become a client through our website. Next slide. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Marianne Tenor. Marianne leads the Small Business Supplier Diversity Program for the Electronic Systems sector at BAE Systems Incorporated. She began her career as an electrical engineer at a small business in southern New Hampshire. She has 30+ years of experience in product development and program management, and she brings a distinct perspective to her role in small business utilization at BAE Systems. Before I turn it over to you, Marianne, I want to share with our live webinar attendees something very important, and it's required to be built before doing business in the government space, including primes like yourself, and that is building relationships. So I met you at a conference back in September in 2022. I took that connection and I followed up. I went to BAE Systems website. I did my research. I learned about the different sectors. I learned that there's a dedicated suppliers page. I follow BAE Systems on social media now. And only after that research, I followed up with you via emails, calls, and we had virtual meetings. You've made suggestions along the way. One of those suggestions led to this webinar. And another of your suggestions led to the 2023 DoD Northeast Regional Matchmaker Business Training and Resource Fair happening this August 9th and 10th. Marianne, I want to thank you for building that relationship with Connecticut Apex Accelerator. We understand that your time is valuable. Now I turn it over to you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for that introduction. I want to say that relationships work both ways, and so Electronic Systems is very fortunate to have an Apex Accelerator in Connecticut that's, willing to connect with us as well. And we look forward to continue relationships with you and potentially your clients. So with that, I'm going to turn my camera off and we can go to the next slide. Oh dear. One moment, please. All right. So to start, I thought we could talk a little bit about BAE Systems and Electronic Systems. If you want to do business with us, like Marisol said, you do need to do your homework and know a little bit about us. So I'll give you a very high overview and then talk to how the products that we supply to our customers informs a business model and a supply chain model. And I'll also provide you with some additional references and resources. All right, next slide, please. Yes, so at BAE Systems Electronic Systems, we are inspired by our missions. We innovate for those who move the world, and we protect those who protect us. Those missions keep us on target every day, and they typically resonate with every employee in our enterprise. So a little bit more about how these missions came and about electronic systems. If we go to the next slide. So Electronic Systems is headquartered right in your backyard in New Hampshire. We have over 15,000 employees, 10,000 of them in the Northeast. We have a big footprint here. We like to do business with suppliers in our area because frankly, it's easier to build those relationships. I mean, we have a lot of tools that allow us to work virtually, and sometimes it's nice to be able to do that face-to-face connection and follow up. Now, we do have a national footprint, and we do have suppliers across the US. I'm just saying we have a rather large footprint in the Northeast. We supply electronic equipment to our customers. About 85% of the products we supply are for defense. The balance is with commercial sector customers. We have a number of product areas that are customer facing and typically have some alignment with a technology domain. I'm going to go around this honeycomb web clockwise, starting with our two commercial business areas. So controls and avionics solutions are providing digital engine and flight controls to largely commercial airlines. They also do supply some flight controls to the defense market. Stuff like fly-by-wire and FADEC, the full authority digital engine controls, as well as cabin system management, so IntelliCabin on some of the newer commercial airlines. We also have another commercial business segment, power and propulsion systems. They are providing electric drive systems, mostly to communities and state governments, both in the US and Europe. You might ride a bus that has a BAE Systems electric drive in it. More recently, we're looking at supplying that electronic drive power management to avionics. And so a little bit of crossover there. Who knows, someday we may all fly cross country with, on jets that are powered strictly with electronic engines. Now getting to our defense businesses, our command, control, communications, and computers often called C4, ISR, Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Systems. And this business area is concentrating on providing actionable intelligence. What do we mean by that? Full spectrum sensor systems. So I'm sensing what's in the RF, the radio frequency range, the EOIR, electro-optical, infrared, maybe even acoustic, and collecting that information and fusing that data that comes from the various sensor systems and processing it in a way that humans can use it. Think about military communications and data links, military radios. That type of product is what our C4ISR group produces. Then we have our countermeasure and electromagnetic attack solutions business area. This group is primarily focused on mission survivability. So they're looking, again, using sensors for threat detection, what's out there. How can I countermeasure that? And maybe attack. So think of, I'm in a threat environment, I'm sensing radar systems, seeing me, say that with air quotes, or maybe there's an incoming threat, a missile threat. I'm going to assess that and provide a countermeasure, or maybe jamming to prevent those attacks on not only, right now they're showing you a G5 airplane, not only for that platform, but for that whole environment that platform is serving. Then we have precision strike and sensing solutions. Here you want to think about sensor systems. EO/IR sensors that are the core to a missile defense system. So you might have heard of a THAAD system being deployed. THAAD is Theater High Altitude Area Defense. I might have gotten that not entirely correct, but you'll have heard that system being deployed to our NATO allies. And this is looking for those those high altitude missiles coming in, so that those are sensed, and there is a countermeasure sent. So essentially a missile sent to intercept a missile and alleviate that threat to our populated areas. We also, in the PS area, take care of a military GPS and general sensor systems that will allow for countermeasure. Again, we do a lot of countermeasures: sense a threat, find a way to alleviate that threat so our folks can come home safely. ECS, that's electronic combat solutions. They're also providing a full spectrum electronic capability for various fighter platforms. And then that center hexagon, FAST Labs, represents our internal research and development group. And we realize that, there isn't time or money for us to invent it all. We do have some pretty smart folks working here, but we're not the only ones with good ideas and solutions. So in addition to internal research and development, we have a group that focuses on external technology scouting. So researching what else is out there, and particularly what small businesses are out there. We have connections. Marisol talked about relationships with various incubators and accelerators around the country. This might be university relationships. It might be businesses, startups, venture capital hubs. So for instance, the Capital Factory in Austin, Texas. There is the Venture Cafe in Boston. There's Fed Tech, an organization out of the DC area, another small business that is in the business of helping other small businesses boost their own business systems and make connections with larger contractors and or the services directly by way of SBIR, Small Business Innovation Research. Okay, so enough about electronic systems and our business areas. If we can go to the next slide, please. So our missions, innovating for those who move the world, and we protect those who protect us, drive us to achieving operational excellence. If we don't fulfill our mission, then our customers might not return from theirs. So we have to be on a mission where what we deliver is of the highest quality every time. And we are not successful delivering our product without buy-in from our supply chain. So we have a product-based business model that informs our supply chain approach, but we all need to be driven to achieving operational excellence. And in part, that's where our Partner to Win program comes in. This is a concept that launched at Electronic Systems about 5 years ago now. We know that we need to extend our mission-driven business approach to our supply chain to be successful. And part of that was aligning a set of tenets. And so we want to have increased communication and collaboration with our suppliers, with our key suppliers. And we know that works both ways. So we have established a supplier advisory council to get feedback, routine feedback from our key suppliers. We encourage continual improvement mindset, both at BAE Systems Electronic Systems and within our supply chain. And for key suppliers, we routinely run Lean Six Sigma training and encourage participation, not only internally, but with those key suppliers as well. We believe that continuous improvement helps all of us be successful. We're not opposed to modifying our own processes. Again, we know, we all have area for improvement and growth. And so we look for feedback and look to modify our own practices as well. What we expect in return is supplier performance, high performance. And you'll see with the little table up in the top right of this chart that we've established a rubric for grading that high performance. Quality scores and diversity delivery scores are monitored on a routine basis, monthly. And there's an expectation that from a delivery perspective, to be a medalist, you'll be achieving 90% success on your delivery targets. And we're looking at 99% on quality scores, above 99% on quality scores. If a supplier's quality and delivery rating are falling below the line so that they're in a yellow or red status, that's typically, we're establishing some kind of corrective action board to look at, all right, what do we need to do together? And if we can't find a mutual path, then then perhaps we're not a good mix. We're not a good fit for each other. We do reward high quality and delivery performance with increased business. In part, this is our take on category management, right? We have equipment that we buy. Again, we're producing electronic systems. So we're looking to buy electronic components, cables and harnesses, mechanical fabbed parts, maybe additive manufacturing in the mix, printed circuit cards, the bare boards themselves. Maybe we're buying a module to go within one of our larger systems. We do look at dividing that into categories and managing suppliers by category so we can have our own internal set of expertise to complement the expertise of our suppliers. And again, we're looking at that. Our suppliers who achieve the high quality and delivery performance that we need to be successful when we deliver our product to our customers, those are the suppliers that we're going to continue to do business with. And then we do celebrate our successes at an annual supplier symposium. I want to say that of the key suppliers and those evaluated, small businesses tend to dominate. This year's subcontractor of the year was a small business, probably, over 50% of the Crystal Award winners. So each business area is picking a supplier of the year. We have a overall subcontractor of the year, an OEM of the year, a small business of the year. Those Crystal winners, generally more than 50% of them are small businesses that are winning those awards. For gold status, again, a substantial number of those suppliers that achieve gold status. So that's a quality score of 100, delivery score of 100%. Those are, again, well represented by small business. So about, that talks to our supply chain approach. If you want to go to the next slide. So again, our supply chain strategy includes utilization of small business. Why do we do it? Well, frankly, we do it to be competitive. Because we know that a small business representation will help us build a resilient supply chain. We know this because we have our annual symposium, and small businesses represent a large portion of those medal winners and Crystal Award winners. Incorporating small business and having a strong small business program helps us incorporate small business innovation. It helps us incorporate small business agility and responsiveness to our needs and the government's needs. It helps grow the U.S. industrial base, and it makes a positive impact on communities across the U.S. That's jobs, right? We do need you to know that our entry stakes are high, right? And sustained participation in our supply chain requires a significant level of participation from our suppliers. So entry stakes, we require ISO certification. We prefer an AS 9100 certification from a quality management perspective. We do need to know that you have counterfeit parts prevention policy in place because, again, we cannot deliver compromised equipment to our customers. We require ITAR registration. You need to be aware of cybersecurity and either show that your systems are cyber, are compliant with cyber systems by your self-assessment, or sign a certification to us that, you know, you will not use any of your networked computer equipment to work on our jobs. There's probably a laundry list more, and I would direct you to our supplier center. So the ES Supplier Center, the address, I'm not going to read that, is listed there. That will give you access to the terms and conditions that are used not only by Electronic Systems, but all of the BAE Systems Inc. businesses. And we'll give you information about special processes and requirements associated with special processes. It also has a package on Partner to Win with a little bit more in-depth information. And from that supplier portal, you can follow links to get additional information about Electronic Systems and our businesses and products. If you want to connect with the small business office, I'll direct you to our small business mailbox at ES. Me and my team monitor this mailbox, and we'll respond to every inquiry that's sent to the mailbox. Now, there may not be a current opportunity. We do keep your information on file for future opportunities. So we're looking for a capability match, like you're providing something that we need to go into one of our products. That's generally what we're buying, because again, we're a products-based business. So we're buying products to go into our products. And again, we'll match capabilities, need those entry stakes, need to be supplying something that we need, and then we'll have a vetting session to direct your information to our different internal commodity groups. And if there's opportunity, you will be contacted. You'll get a response that we've received your inquiry. If there's opportunity, you'll receive follow-up information. Electronic Systems is not the only business within the BAE Systems Inc. businesses. So if we go to the next slide. I do want to share with you that there are two other sectors within BAE Systems Inc. There's the intelligence and security sector, and there is a platforms and services sector. And if you use this QR code or type in the link that's provided, it'll bring you to our Inc-based supplier diversity page, where you can find contact information for all of the small business offices across the North America business of BAE Systems, as well as our outreach calendar. There are also links to the other sectors to learn more about the products and services that they deliver. And so I encourage you, as Marisol said, to do your research, to do some homework and learn about the business we do to assess where you fit in, and then make those contacts. Next slide. And so thank you all very much, and see you at the 2023 Northeast Regional Matchmaker.
Okay, great. Thank you, Marianne. And now we're ready for questions. Everyone, please send them in. So far, we have one and the question is, do you use marketing and research agencies, Marianne?
Well, BAE Systems Inc. is a rather large corporation. So generally, we have our own internal communications group that will help us with how we want to position. We also have an internal business and development group that is establishing relationships with our customers. So, it's not just you that are looking for those connections. We're also, part of that supply chain. And so, typically we're doing most of that internally.
All right, thank you for that. So next question, what site would small businesses register on your website?
So for electronic systems, we do not have small businesses register. There is a supplier portal. Some of the other sectors use that to have small businesses initiate a registration. At Electronic Systems, we ask you to send your capability statement into our small business mailbox so that we can do an internal vetting to assess your capabilities, to see if you're a fit for our commodity teams, and then to see if there is opportunity. And that again is managed through our supply chain planning, to figure out a demand, and then worked with those commodity teams so they're having a portfolio of suppliers that can perform to meet our demand.
Thank you. Next question. I am a mechanical engineer and I am still in the military and I have my secret clearance. What type of opportunities are there available?
So being a largely defense-oriented supplier ourselves, we do have a large contingent of our workforce who are veterans. We have a program, a Wounded Warrior program that we support, and often we'll have candidates for, and our internal talent acquisition team is looking for engineers to support our missions. So there is a site for BAE Systems Electronic Systems talent acquisition. If you give me, actually, I'm not great at multitasking, so I'll take an action to get that information for you, but there is a portal for the various opportunities available, and your contact would be directly through that portal and talent acquisition.
Thank you. Next question. Do you have a need for AS 9100 certified machine shops, or is it strictly electronic components?
So we do have a mechanical fabrication group, commodity, where we're looking for suppliers. Currently, I believe we're looking for suppliers that do brazing in that, so a specialty of the mechanical fabrication. I'm not aware of a current opportunity for strictly machining, but if you send in the capability statement, what type of machines do you have, what are you processing? Are you talking straight sheet metal, milling, what type of machines and refinement and that capability of the products that you could manufacture. We'd need to know that, as well as the 9100 certification. Again, that is preferred. for all of our suppliers. If you send that in, my team will do that internal vetting with our mechanical commodity team.
So Mary Ann, could I send you, for example, this business's capability statement directly to you? Is that how would that be an option? And also, I want to remind our audience that Mary Ann and her team will be at the 2023 DoD Northeast Regional Matchmaker. So great opportunity to meet one-on-one with Mary Ann and her team then. So let's get ready for that along with the capability statement.
Our preferred approach is that you send it to the small business mailbox, because that is monitored and that's how we do the vetting. You could send it to my mailbox and I'm not as good as keeping up, and sometimes the filters I set, chop out more than what I intend. So the better option is to send a capability statement to the ES small business mailbox. Now feel free to say, I attended the Connecticut Apex Accelerator webinar, and this is why I'm sending my capability statement. I believe, I'm a mechanical fabricator. I think I could support the products in your business areas, and here's our specialty, right? This is what qualifies us. We have past performance with defense and aerospace, in addition to AS 9100, or perhaps you've already supplied product to a government agency, right? That would all be good information to tell us.
Thank you for that. We have a question here. We want to market our services to small businesses that support BAE. How can we let them know about our company? Well, Connecticut Apex can assist you with that. But if you'd like to add anything, Mary Ann, regarding that question, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, I'm not. Can you repeat the question?
So the question is, we want to market our services to small businesses that support BAE Systems. How can we let them know about our company?
Yeah, I guess I think probably the Apex accelerators are a better way to go without quite understanding the services that you are looking to provide to those small businesses.
Yeah, so we'll follow up with you directly regarding this question. You reach out to your primary counselor so that they can best assist you with promoting your services to other small businesses. Next question. I have a factory that creates, produces, and alters uniforms for up to and including military, chefs, medical, etc. How do I get in touch with the proper department for this need?
Yeah, so we don't produce military uniforms.
Yeah.
Right. So we would probably not be a good fit.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that covers all the questions here. And any questions that I did not answer directly, it's only because we'll be following up directly regarding those questions. Please be expecting responses from your primary counselors that we can assist best rather than asking Mary Ann. But at this point, I'm going, next slide, please. Mary Ann, thank you for this informative presentation, for the resources available and sharing requirements and the processes involved in becoming a supplier to BAE Systems Electronic Systems. Any last suggestions, advice, tips for our audience?
Actually, I think your opening advice was best, right? Make the connection, do your homework, and work those relationships.
Thank you for that. And we invite everyone to visit our calendar page on our website to learn more about upcoming events. And we hope to see you all at the DoD Northeast Regional Matchmaker Business Training and Resource Fair happening in August. And again, BAE Systems will be present. And thank you everyone for joining us. And again, Marianne, thank you, and have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you.